What is good, people? I am BA and we are back once again with another reaction in the Tales from the Crypt series. We are on episode 2 of season 2. Now, this one is called The Switch, and I have actually seen it before, so this isn't a first time reaction, but I'm looking forward to seeing this again because it has a very special someone cameoing in this episode. I don't even know if I want to say it just in case you people haven't seen this shit yet. So let's get into it and see what it's saying. Episode 2, Season 2, The Switch.
It's disgusting what people will do to stay young.
What's the matter with you? You want to keep that 90-pound corpse for the rest of your death?
The Dawn.
A twisted tale that we call The Switch.
Arnie taking over from the Crypt Keeper. The Terminator and the Crypt Keeper. Are you taking the piss? Kelly Preston. Isn't that Arnie's ex-missus as well? He must have got his missus at the time to be in the episode, I think. Tales from the Crypt loves its opening shots of just panning slowly around a room with nothing happening in it. I don't know why that sets the scene well for a Tales from the Crypt, but apparently if you just rotate round a room slowly and put some carnival music over the top of it, you know, some shit's about to go down. Some Crypt related shit. Directed by Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know. I don't even know if he's directed anything since, but he directed this shit.
Are you alright, sir?
I'm in love, Fulton.
You're never too old to fall in love.
She's young.
Okay, getting a bit dodgy now, bro.
I want to marry her very much. But only if she loves me and not my money.
Well, at least he's a noble dude. He's like the secret millionaire for just finding a girlfriend.
Come on, Fulton. Let's open the curtain. Right, Tomas. Open the curtain. Let some light.
It's a big event in the mansion when they pop the curtains open.
The Lord said, let there be light, and there was light. The moon, the stars, Linda.
He's pretty active for a dude that's apparently got a walking stick. I mean, he was a step away from doing a backflip in that scene. I think he's just claiming a bit of the extra, you know, get a bit of that sick pay. I see you in your mansion.
Oh, you could have dressed a little more smartly, sir.
I don't want her to know about me, Fulton.
Then tally-ho and good hunting, sir.
Apparently if you unbutton your suit and just pull a sleeve up, you ain't smart anymore.
They're as beautiful as all the other flowers you've given me.
Not half as beautiful as you.
Okay, at least she's not too young.
You are so sweet to me, Carlton, and I appreciate that. But when I look into your face, I know that I could never marry you. You look too old.
She's being as genuine as you could ask for, to be fair. I mean, he's literally a couple years away from dying.
I'll do anything it takes to make you happy. Anything.
Or why does every single bachelor in this show have to come across as the most aggressive sexual predator you have ever seen? Why can't one of them just go, it was your decision. See you later. Maybe you'll change your mind. Oof. That 80s mullet. Now she has definitely shot a raccoon.
He can take as much as 5 to 10 years off your appearance.
5 to 10 years.
He's not impressed. That is not nearly enough for him. He needs a good 50, 60 years if possible, Doc.
We could start by tightening under the chin.
That's not enough.
We could continue with 2 eye tucks.
Still not enough.
Stop beating around the bush and just ask him for the breast implant you came in for.
I don't expect you to make my face look 30.
Then what do you expect?
Whole new face.
This is gonna be like Face Off.
I heard there's someone who can do it.
So there's someone out there just giving old guys young guys faces, making bank.
This kind of referral doesn't come cheap.
Life is cheap, Doctor. But youth is very, very precious.
He's willing to give all his money up. I would not be getting surgery off a dude that, as I approached his house, loomed from a lightning crackling window with a manic smile on his face. I'd be like, Jeeves, turn this shit around. This doctor even has an ego.
$1 million?
It's not so much, Mr. Webster. In fact, for a miracle, it's not much at all.
He makes a fair point.
$1 million for a simple operation?
Simple! It is a very complex operation, and only a doctor of the greatest talent would even dare to attempt it.
We have a new entrant into the top 10 cheese charts. This scientist. Top tier cheese.
The operation only costs $100,000.
What is the other $900,000 for?
The young man's face.
Damn. So is 9/10 assassin, 1/10 doctor.
This is Hans.
The guy looked so happy to be himself.
So I get his face.
And I will get your money.
Match made in heaven. One guy that values youth, one guy that values wealth.
We've finally come down to it. How much do you really want to be young?
He's gonna do it. He's gonna fucking do it. This is a classic, like, scientist's laboratory in an old school 30s horror.
I'm glad you're all right, sir. I was worried about you. What have they done to your face?
I want to see this face. Oh, wow.
Surprise!
That's incredibly creepy.
What have you done?
I've done it, Linda. Just for you.
But your face, it's bizarre.
Very bizarre.
Your body's still old and decrepit.
That's excellent makeup effects though. Obviously you can tell it is effects, but still it's done well, like a weird, it looks like Hans's face on his old face.
Be patient.
Of course I can give you a new torso, Mr. Webster. It will be no problem.
Of course he's gonna end up getting Hans's entire body now because she said he still looked like an old man in the body.
$2 million.
What? That's insane.
2 mil.
Taking most of my money.
That's very sad. Perhaps next time you will know better than to grow old.
Yeah, let that be a lesson to you, you fucking mortal prick. It's got all this high-tech shit, and then he's just got a bone saw, bloodied, couple pairs of scissors and a wrench.
It's amazing. It's an absolute...
Okay, now they've obviously swapped, so it's no longer the old actor, they're using Hans now, and he's doing the voiceover. Of course, the episode directed by Schwarzenegger has a scene at Muscle Beach. She's so impressed now.
I just can't get over your transformation, Carl.
Not bad, huh?
Not bad.
Proud of himself like it was his own hard work.
You ready?
Oh, he's still got old man legs.
What's wrong?
It's your legs. They're so scrawny and old. Look at the sagging skin.
Okay, at this point, like, see when she was first talking about him being old and shit, and he was an old guy, I completely understood the point. Now she's just coming across like a cunt. Like, so shallow. Like he's a mermaid. Like, she would bang the top half, but the legs is so off-putting.
How much?
$1 million a limb.
Another $2 million?
I'm afraid, Mr. Webster, it's
Thought he was going to count the penis for some reason. That doctor took $6 million off him for 3 operations. You'd have thought he'd be eating lobster by this point and not just a giant sausage.
$3 million is all the money I have left in this world.
Well, then maybe you should keep your money, Mr. Webster, and forget about the girl.
It's actually sound advice from the insane scientist at this point.
Can't believe it. Wait till Linda sees this.
He's ecstatic about his new dick.
Val, is this your car?
What do you want?
A ride, man.
You can have a ride!
It's one of my favourite words in these reactions. That guy got slung.
I did it. I've become the man you wanted. Marry me, Linda.
I can't. I'm already married. You're nice, Carlton, but I needed a man of financial means.
Wow, and there we go.
A man who understood the importance of money. I found my new husband, Carlton. His name is Hans.
Good old Hans with all the old body parts, now loaded. Hans's wicked victory laugh would just be the fucking cherry on the cake, really, wouldn't it? Okay, that was episode 2 of season 2 of Tales from the Crypt, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, episode 2 of season 2, The Switch. What did I think of that? Well, I have seen it before. I'd seen it maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I do remember it because obviously it's so memorable for Arnold Schwarzenegger guest appearing in the intro and directing the episode. To my knowledge, it's the only thing he's ever directed. Don't think he's directed anything since. It's just so banging when someone of his magnitude just pops up for a random episode. It gets you hyped to the episode regardless of the concept. I loved the concept in this. It is kinda similar to the one we saw in season 1 called Only Sin Deep. When I reacted to that, I said I thought there was a Tales from the Dark Side episode or a Creep Show movie segment, which had a similar thing. It wasn't. It was actually this episode in season 2. So if anything, this is Tales from the Crypt ripping off itself, which is acceptable. And also it was done slightly differently. Obviously, in Only Sin Deep, the woman gave up her beauty for money, and then at the end wanted her beauty back, but she couldn't get it. In this slightly different concept, it plays on the same sort of themes. An old guy can't get the girl that he wants because of how old he is. He trades his wealth for youth, but in the end, the woman ends up wanting wealth as her primary thing she wants from a partner. So he's ruined himself by his objective. I will say that compared to all the other characters that Tales from the Crypt has followed so far, this guy is perhaps the most sympathetic. Because he's not an evil guy, he hasn't done anything really messed up. He just, all the other characters I think in every episode are fucked up in some kind of way that we followed. But this guy, he's not necessarily fucked up, he's just an old dude in love. She tells him point blank she can't love him back because he looks old, he's heard of an operation, what can make him look younger? So it's just a poor old guy that's fallen in love and is desperately attempting to make himself look like the lady that he loves wants him to look like. Of course, the whole twist is that when he first approached her as the old guy, he disguised the fact he had money. She was unaware he had money. What's funny is, in retrospect, had he have not disguised that, he would have got her, but for what reason? Because he said at the start that he wanted her to love him for him, not his money, and she was only ever interested in a guy who had money. So, if you think about it, whatever way this poor dude played it, he was fucked from the start. Because if he'd have stayed old, but then he wanted her to love him for love, but then told her he had money, she would have loved him, but only for the fact he had money. So he would have known it would have been a hollow partnership that was based on some shallow shit, which wasn't what he wanted. So he would have ended up with a little old broken heart. Adversely, what did happen was, he made himself look like how he thought she wanted him to look, only to find out that she'd went and married some random guy she wasn't even attracted to just because he had money. And again, he ended it with a broken heart. With old Hans laughing his ass off at him, champagne in hand, girl on his arm. So yeah, I feel sorry for the main character more than I have any other character in any episode so far. What about the directing? Well, I don't know. I wasn't really like, it's your standard Tales from the Crypt directing. I'm not saying Arnold Schwarzenegger's going to win any awards for cinematography. I do think it's funny that, like, the one thing that stands out to me, I'll say, actually, is that scene where he leaves her apartment and is told she has moved to a new fancier place. He randomly gets attacked by a gang. There's no point to it in the story. I suppose you could say it's an example of him showing off what his new body can do, but he'd already done that at Muscle Beach. So this is just Arnie self-indulgence in my mind, like, we need a scene with the bikers attack him, he throws one over the car. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. But it was completely out of context from the rest of the episode. It was quite a short episode. It was maybe a short story in its original form in the comics, so they had to add some things here and there to pad it out a bit, maybe. That being said, I just, like I keep saying, the way they write these karmatic justice stories are just always so perfect. And I guess, okay, so let's break it down. He made the choice to look young in order to try and get with her. Is that morally right for him to do? Did he do the right thing there? Was he a dickhead in any way for doing that? Should he have just been natural and been old and not get the girl he was liking? Was he wrong for trying everything in his power to try and get the woman he wanted to be with? I wouldn't say necessarily. Maybe he did it. Did he become shallow in doing that? No, I don't think so. He was just trying to appease her shallowness. So I do genuinely think he's like one of the only morally decent characters we've had so far. As always though, they have to zoom in on his face while he does a creepy "I'll do anything to get you" speech. They could have made one character not have a really creepy close-up speech like that. But then I suppose that's done within the context of the episode to keep you guessing as to what's going to happen next. Yeah, another dope episode, perfectly written. I don't know if it's karmatic justice, but it's some sort of Wiseman story for sure. A good heads up, perhaps. And I think it was your typical Tales from the Crypt acting. Your typical Tales from the Crypt everything. And that is what made it another excellent episode. So that has been my thoughts on Season 2, Episode 2, The Switch. If you like this video, click like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below about this episode, or if you want to see me watch anything specifically in the future. And share this video around to anybody you think might appreciate it. Show your friends or people who you think might want to watch along with us. Until next time, I have been BA. Peace.